let me pose this question. What would you do if you were in charge of WB slash the DC franchise? Welcome back to Movie Nerds, folks. My name is Tom. I'm your host today. I'm joined by my usual guest. Might as well just make him a regular. Dave Owen, how you doing, buddy?
Good, man. Yeah, it's a good question to ask. What
It
would
is
you
a good question.
do? What would you do?
What would you do? This, it's been out there. A lot's going on with Warner Brothers, and what they're doing with the hero or the DC division of all the movies and what's going on. We also have, cancellation. We also have going forward certain movies that have certain star that should not be working in the Hollywood business ever again. Although I feel sorry for him because I'm pretty sure he's not all there mentally. And I think you know who I'm talking about, Ezra Miller.
Ezra Miller. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but before we start, let's give a little bit background on what's going on with Warner Brothers. Dave, do you know anything at all with this story?
I haven't read anything new. No, I've seen some of the latest trailers, like for Shazam and Black Adam.
So they're not they didn't get canceled.
Yes.
So Warner Brothers is in a what they call a rebuilding mode at this moment. They just got a new CEO. They were bought out by Discovery, which is interesting because Discovery has been doing well with their streaming service, Discovery Plus.
Yeah.
And the guy that's in charge of that was David Zaslav. I think that's how you spell his name. ZAS.
That's how I would say it. Zaslav.
Yeah, Zaslav. So he's a very successful CEO for Discovery, and Discovery decided to go all in. Not they didn't buy Warner Brothers; they buy Warner Brothers movie divisions. So let's be clear, because that's a huge buy if they buy the entire Warner Bros. But yeah, it's just more the entertaining part, the movies, the TV shows, and all that. They bought that, and so Discovery decided to put David Zaslav as the CEO for that division. And my gosh, right when he comes in, he start just right off the bat, he canceled because Warner Brothers had a couple of movies that were in place to be made and they've had people cast. There's a movie called The Wonder Twins. Have you heard about this?
I've heard of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Wonder Twins, which is a DC movie, DC comics that was going to be adapted into a movie. And they had cast. They cast people. They had people ready to go. He came in and said, no, kill it. Cancel that. He also killed other things too, like all the CW shows.
Really? The DC. So he's in charge of like all of DC's development. Huh?
Yes, okay. He is. So he's looking for
all of DC shows are canceled.
Looks like they're all canceled. They're gonna
What
be
about
canceled.
what was on HBO Max? Are they gonna continue any of those, or are those all done?
No. So the only thing that's safe, and I gotta go back to the Hollywood Reporter. This is their website. Okay. I'm actually going off this. Let's give them some credit for reporting. And James Gunn, what's that guy's Peacemaker? That show is safe, which is a great show.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, that show's safe. We know Black Adam is safe. We know Shazam is safe. We know Batman, but with Robert Pattinson, will get a sequel.
Really?
Yeah, that's safe. Okay. Which I'm not sure how they're going to go forward with that if they don't want to bring back Ben Affleck as part. But it seems like Warner Brothers, the DC division. We're just going to from going forward. We're going to just say DC. Okay.
Okay.
They feel like they're not. They want to get they want to get away from the Zack Snyderverse, and they don't want to have to.
Snyderverse is gone.
They don't want to be part of that. Yeah, that's the old CEO that was in charge. He greenlighted a lot of those things, and he did a terrible thing. Nothing that he did was that great. Now, whether we agree or disagree on whether Batgirl was supposed to be canceled or not, we'll talk about it. But I'm just giving you a little what's going on with them. But like I said, Black Adam is safe. Peacemaker is safe.
Batgirl. Didn't they have a Batwoman series? Is that what I'm thinking of?
That's gone too. That's CW. That's gone.
So CW is Batwoman.
Batwoman, I believe.
Batgirl.
I'm not sure.
was there actually? I didn't see anything from Batgirl. Was that an actual?
They made the
It,
movie.
it was in. Oh, it was a movie.
They made a movie.
They already made the movie.
They were in final production.
Oh my gosh! And he's like done.
He kind of
Zach,
done.
what's his name? Zaslav.
Zazoff and Michael Keaton is in there as Batman.
In Batgirl.
Yeah.
Dang.
So they
Okay.
so we know. Let's go. Adam is Black Adam is saved.
Black Adam.
Shazam is saved.
safe.
What other movies coming out that? The Flash seems like it's safe, but that all depends on
Really?
one actor, and so we'll talk about that as well. And so
okay.
so there may be a hypocritical moment there. Why whatever is that Aslan? I can't say his name. What's his name? The
Zaslav?
Flash. No,
Oh, Ezra Miller.
Ezra Miller. Whatever you think of him, he was probably the best Flash that will probably.
Oh yeah.
I liked him as the Flash. As a person,
even better in the Zack Snyder one too.
Oh yeah. So I don't. As a person, he's got a lot of messed ups. Going on in his head, and
who knows what's going on with him.
So those are safe. Everything else is the Flash, the TV show Flash is gone. This is the last season 9. Everything he's just curiously Zaslav is coming and basically putting in. They call it his axe. He has a nickname, the axe of Zaslav is cutting down. That's from John Campio's show. He calls him the axe of Zaslav.
Okay.
So, and he's mowing down and he's basically canceling everything, and
he's just basically wanting to start from scratch. It sounds like.
Yeah. Now
everything that was currently happening done.
Anything that has to do with the old regime, the old CEO and all that, he wants to get away because he does feel he feels, and I agree with him to this point. He feels like that the DC property should be making more money. And I agree with him. The characters in the DC properties are rich, and there are things in there that can make lots of money, and he's putting that property ahead of everything else. He feels like he's all in the DC properties. So he wants to make these movies good, and he wants to make them great and wants to make money off of them. And rightfully so. It is a business, folks. Whether you think it's creativeness, and I agree that there's a creative part that has to be part of, but when it comes down to it, it's all about the dollar, because you have to make money to keep this going. And so so that's
are they gonna attempt like MCU style?
He had
those style of movies, or is he gonna be like Zaslav, gonna be the puppet master? Like,
that's a great transition into the next subject, our next thing we're going to talk about. So recently they had a stockholder or stock, those people who
the earnings report
reports, and they had a meeting, and he presented this plan to these people, and he has a 10-year plan that has that
10-year plan.
Yeah. Now whether what that plan is, we don't know yet. I couldn't find any reports on it, but he did explain himself, and we'll go into this now, is why he decided to cancel Batgirl after the movie was ready to be finished off post-production, and kind of took the rug under the foot.
$90 million.
$90 million. So and now maybe this is the part where I think, I feel like Zaslav could have been a better communicator, but basically he came out and said that the movie sucked.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that was his word, that the movie wasn't good and that the movie wouldn't make any money, and so we decided to scrap it. I get it. I guess there's been has been reported have seen this movie, and all of them have mentioned that they're not good.
Really? Wow.
The most positive review that somebody gave was it was okay. Wow. That's the most positive thing out of that. So
it's an expensive testing group just to get not greenlit.
Yeah. Wow. So let me ask you this question. I don't envy Zaslav at all. He inherited a bad situation. Let's give him a break with there.
Yeah.
could he have said something in a nicer way? Instead of just basically come out and just said, "Oh, your movies suck."
Well,
Hey,
I don't know, man. Like
okay, let's see your take. How do you
I
feel
would
about him?
say I don't I know nothing about him. I knew nothing about what was happening until you mentioned it. So here's I don't know. I don't know that there's a good way of going about it, right? Like they've been trying to pick up the pieces of the DCEU since even before Justice League,
Yeah.
right? Even Batman v Superman didn't get that great of reception, even though it was a pretty good movie. It just didn't get the reception that it should have. That storyline could have been great.
Well,
The
they should.
Justice League could have been great, right? And they've been trying to pick up the pieces ever since then. They've been trying to compete with Marvel since the Avengers, the first Avengers movie. So I don't know that there's a good way about going about this, like trying to like piece together all of the different movies that have come into the DCEU. Why not? Why not just cut it off? Just cut the head off the snake and
Oh, I
start
like.
over.
Okay, so you feel that way.
Like
So
I think I agree with this move.
okay, you don't think that he should? You don't think he should have put because originally Batgirl was supposed to be an HBO Max movie,
Okay. Would they have
and
made the 90 million back if it was HBO
no,
release?
no.
So, okay, like so you got
I
90 million dollars, you maybe make some of
well,
that
here's the
back
thing.
in subscription,
It's
right?
not just 90 million. It's gonna be at least probably 150 to almost 200 million,
Okay, after like
including
marketing.
marketing and all
Yeah.
that stuff. And so I think it would have been that much of them to
So they maybe make half back in
yeah,
subscriptions from HBO Max if that.
yeah.
So,
So I don't know if I and then they decided to put it in the theater, which is actually to me that's probably the right thing. But now it's not going to be any. And here's the thing, they're canceling it for tax purposes, folks. So
what?
if a movie if a movie get canceled, they get a tax return as long as that movie doesn't see the light of day.
This is like a bailout, man. That's like a bailout. That's a government bailout.
It's because they know that they can. That's why he's not. That's why he's okay to do it because he's going to get a return out of it. Even though he
Yeah.
already spent all that money, he's going to say, "Well, I'm going to get this much back instead of." And his
Is that
quote
what
was,
happened with the death of Superman way back when? Nicolas
"I,
Cage.
yeah, I think that movie just did.
They just canceled it and they got a government bailout for all that. Oh
Everything
my
has
gosh.
everything has an incentive when it comes to that stuff. So because of that, they get a tax rebate or a tax whatever you tax cut, whatever you want to call it. But they cannot show that movie ever. They cannot make them. They cannot make profit in that for that film. Once they do it, they have to declare it and then they have to pay taxes to it. So, but
Okay. All
so
right.
so for that reason why they can it now. Do you agree with him? It sounds like you do agree with that. They should cancel Batgirl.
If they're going to continue DCEU properties as far as movies and TV shows,
Uh huh.
yes.
Okay.
Otherwise, if I were in charge, let them die.
Okay.
If they're not going to make money, leave it alone, right? You've been trying for years, trying for decades even, and it's not is the juice worth the squeeze at this point? So
Well, here's the thing.
if
We
he
don't
thinks
know
so, fine,
though.
I guess, right? But
But it's look, there has been a lot of other movies that have been greenlit
yeah,
and been tossed in the theater. And I mean, how bad is this movie? that's
right,
that's
right.
the question. How bad is it for
And
him?
we'll never know.
We'll never know for him to just cancel it. He even says Zaslav even says that we don't want to diminish the brand of Batgirl. We want her to movie to be great when we present a good movie. And I guess I can see that. I can see why would you want okay. The argument is that people say, "Oh, why don't you just throw it out there? Just put it on HBO Max and you're not going to get a lot of money back, but you're still, going to get some, but if
If
that movie
yeah,
comes out and is that bad, Batgirl will be like, oh man, it's gonna ruin that character in that sense.
yeah,
Think about Catwoman. Think about
right. Oh yeah. Oh my
Holly
gosh, Halle
Berry.
Berry.
That was the
I
that
never
was
saw it. I
terrible.
never saw it, and it was just because of word of mouth.
Yeah, it's terrible. And look what happened to Catwoman. Didn't get revived until the third movie from Christopher Nolan. And
Yeah.
and I love Anne
Yeah, that was a
Hathaway's
good one. Yeah.
version. I love
And
her
then Zoe
version.
Kravitz was
She's great.
even
She's
better.
great too. So I mean, so I understand his point of view from that perspective. Like, we can't just just throw any movie out there and be like, okay. But he wants to put out good movies, whether that is for show and tell, like for public to hear, or
Yeah.
maybe he just didn't like the movie. I don't know, but I agree with him to a certain extent, and so
Yeah. I mean, the fan base, they're passionate, right? All the comic book fans are passionate about these movies being really good because we've been given that by MCU.
yeah,
So that's what the DC fans, the people that grew up like reading Superman, Batman, all the Justice League, like, and then watching the cartoons, which animation you can do so much with,
yeah,
and you can make it great with a lower budget. But these live action films, these photorealistic CG effects, we're expecting a story to go along with them that's going to make it great.
yeah. Well,
So
here's the
the
thing, though.
fan base is there, and if he's going to start from scratch, the fans are going to want something great.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Well, he's not getting away from the Snyderverse as much because some of the character, excuse me, that's coming back. He still has Aquaman. That movie hasn't
Is
canceled.
Aquaman still
Still
greenlit
on.
for
Still
now?
on. For now.
Has he seen the footage so far? What they have?
I don't know. So we know
Okay.
that he's keeping all those characters. He wants Harry Cavill back as Superman,
Who
which
doesn't?
I think Snyder and the Warner Brothers at that time made a mistake. They should have made Man of Steel 2 before they made Batman v
Yeah.
Superman, because you got to build the. I don't know. It was a mistake because Superman is the main. I mean, to me, I know everybody say Batman, but I mean
No,
DC when it
no, no.
comes to it's Superman.
Superman's the main Justice
Yeah.
League
So
member, I
they
think.
want him back. He said he doesn't want to come back. The report says, but he's not saying that he's completely like didn't close the door on that. He probably he'll come back. I think if they
Yeah, give
give
him enough
him the
money.
money. It's all about money, dude.
Give
So
him enough money. Give him a 3 movie
so
contract.
really, right now, it is a mess.
Oh
The
yeah.
DC property right now, it's a mess. It's all over the place. There's no direction. Like for a while, we were talking about the MCU on Phase 4. We're like,
Right.
Phase 4 is all over the place. What's
Yeah.
going on? But now we kind of have somewhat of a like a plan, like a step
Yeah.
to go
Yeah.
forward. DC has nothing. They greenlit Joker 2 with Joaquin Phoenix.
Really.
How is that going to play in there? What is I mean, how are these movies like, the Joker and the Batman are two completely different tone than
Oh
what
yeah.
than
Yeah.
what these DC movies. There's a completely different tone from Wonder Woman, from Aquaman, and from The Flash. I can guarantee it. It's not going to be the same. So if you keep green at all these movies, how are you going to connect them? Are they even connected? Are you going to have two different Batman? Because then you're going to confuse people. Like, which Batman belongs to what universe?
Yeah.
It's error. So I propose this question, like, Dave, if you were given in charge of the DC property at Warner Brothers, how would you fix it? How would you go about doing to make these movies better and make money? That's the main
I
thing.
I think I think mimic what Marvel did. Put Kevin Feige in charge, and he oversaw what the directors of each of the movies were doing so that it did fit. And I think it seems like that's what Warner Brothers is wanting, or Discovery is going to want with the DCEU moving forward. They want someone in charge that's going to oversee all of these movies. So
So there is a report out on Friday that they are looking for that. So you're on track. Zaslav is looking for someone to be the Kevin Feige. Somebody's name came up, and that is, I don't know the guy's name. He is in charge of all the CW superhero
oh
show.
yeah, see they did a good job with those. Those all fit together really well.
Okay, but that's different.
Why is that different?
Dude, we're talking about cinematic. That's TV show.
Okay, yeah, no, I get it, but you get movie directors and writers in charge of the movie, like the actual production of the movie, but get someone to oversee each of the projects so that they fit. Okay, I'm going to review this script and see if there are pieces that don't work. Right, get a team of people to do that.
Okay,
So that it doesn't like
you can't
make the movie people in charge of making the movie.
You can't
have
use
somebody
him,
over
dude, because it's hard. I think to me, there's only one Kevin Feige. You're never gonna
find somebody like that.
Kevin Feige's been in this industry doing comic book movies, by the way, since 2000. His first movie was Spider-Man. He was a producer on that.
Oh, see, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was a producer on that, all those three. And so he's been trained and groomed for this. This guy has not done anything cinematic that will wow you. At least look, the CW show, it is what it is. It's low budget, and you can only do so much with the effects and the storyline. And to be honest, some of the shows got boring. Arrow wasn't that good towards the end. The Flash, me and my wife jump off the bandwagon. Like we love.
Yeah, I think it was like season 3. Me and my wife stopped watching that.
I love season 1 and 2. I thought season 1 of the Flash on WC,
that was fantastic.
The season finale was fantastic.
Yeah, I think we talked about that on a previous episode.
Because it threw me off when what's his name killed him. Like we're like, what did that? Like,
it's like, if I kill myself here,
and he really did sacrifice. So, anyways, so I just don't think that guy. I don't know his name, folks. I need to find out, but I don't think he can handle.
But at least he has familiarity with the intellectual property.
Okay, he does, and I'll give him that. But I mean, I think it's a different league, man. It's TV show. I mean, look, I understand TV show, and remember, TV show has more time. You have more time to produce, and movies. Yeah. You don't. Your time is
depending
money.
On who you are. You got 2 to 3 hours.
So I feel like he's just. I don't think if you want to. Okay, whether or not you disagree or not, they're competing with the MCU.
Oh, 100%.
They're just not there yet, and I don't know if they ever catch up to MCU at this moment. But my point is that you have to have somebody who is a seasoned pro. Like, the TV show to me produced, like, I think to me that's like the minor league. The movies are the major league. If you want to catch up to MCU, you got to get somebody who's been in the league at least longer than who has been working on the television.
Yeah.
So I feel like they can't handle this. Okay. The one thing that I do know is that Zaslav has asked Alan Horn to come out of retirement.
Who's Alan Horn?
Alan Horn is the reason why Kevin Feige is where he is.
Oh, really?
Alan Horn is a great producer. Okay. He's a legend. So they hired him, got him out of retirement. Folks, Kevin Feige's contract is going to be up soon.
Really?
It's going to be up soon. Disney better pay him a buttload of money.
Oh, yeah.
Or else
Disney's going to,
going.
Discovery's going to come for him.
He's going. And guess who's going to be, Alan Horn's going to be. So this is, I think, it's set up for Kevin Feige to go to.
You think?
Yeah, dude.
Are you banking on that?
If Disneyland doesn't give his own theme park, basically, Kevin Feige will be going to the DC property. I guarantee it. Alan Horn is there. Alan Horn and him work together, and they were there, and so they work together. So they know exactly what they can do, and they work well together. And so,
do you think he'd be biased toward the Marvel though? You think he'd have any loyalty even if his contract is up?
But that's the thing, though. Their contract is, if it's up, then you really have no,
Yeah, where's the loyalty?
If you're talking about loyalty, then why don't Disney pay him more? I mean, he made Disney billions upon billions.
So much money.
He made them at least pretty close to almost probably 10 billion.
That's crazy.
If you think about it. I mean, 3 Avengers movie both of them. One of them is $1 billion. One of them is 1 point something, maybe even 2 billion. The other one had. I still say, Avengers Endgame is the number one grossing because to me, Titanic took it back. Oh,
Oh,
no,
really?
Avatar took it back.
Avatar took it back.
Because they re-released it in theater. If you're gonna re-release it to try to,
we need to make more money.
yeah, that to me that doesn't count. I don't care. Avatar is number 2 to me. Endgame is still number 1 because they didn't have to re-release anything.
Yeah.
And Avatar has released at least 3 times, since they opened. So, God, go. You can kiss my ass with that Avatar. I hate that movie. I cannot stand that Avatar movie. Anyways,
you can hate it.
So I just think that might be their plan, and so
okay,
go back. What else would you do?
What? Oh man, I had a thought.
Sorry, I might have ruined your thought.
No. That was the main thing was get someone. But yeah, I would. I think I agree with you. Get somebody that's an expert in cinema, for sure. But as long as they, I don't know, how do you conduct focus groups? Like, what do you do? Like, what do you do to make sure that people are going to like it, especially if you haven't released it yet?
I mean, like, look, all in all, the DC movies aren't that bad.
No, they're not.
Except for Justice League, the Josh Whedon version.
The Whedon version
is terrible, but
the Justice League.
But the Zack Snyder 4 hour, it wasn't even that
so long.
It's so long. I mean, it was good, but it wasn't like groundbreaking. Like, it's just like, okay, it's 4 hours. Like, I mean, I watched Avenger Endgame and it's 10 times better than that movie. Like, and it's only 2.5 hours. Like, so just because it's 4 hours, it's supposed to be all these freaking DC fanboy.
Here, I had a thought.
Okay, go ahead.
What else I would do if I were in charge? I would not try to catch up with Marvel. Because you can't at this point. There's no way you can do it. Start small. The Batman would have been a super great starting point for a DCEU. Right? Start with the Batman and then build from there.
Okay.
So start with one intellectual property. Do that, and then maybe a sequel, and then one other that would tie in. But yeah, start small. Like, if put your plan in place, but it better build a good foundation. That's going to be the key. It needs to be a foundation, especially if he wants a cinematic universe, an extended universe of these characters. So
that's true. Another reason why I think Kevin Feige is going to go over there, I know this is so random, because he doesn't have the control and the power anymore.
Oh yeah, it's too big.
No, it's not that. It was taken away by the new CEO of Disney.
Oh, okay.
What's his name? Chapek or whatever. What a freaking piece of crap. He's the reason why that Scarlett Johansson could have made more money for them, but instead he decided to. Yeah, he deserved to get sued. I don't even know why Disney allowed him to be the CEO still. He's terrible. And he's giving the power to the creator instead of to Kevin Feige. When Bob, what's his name? Iger was there. Kevin Feige had all the power to make decisions for that universe. All. But now he does not have that. And you can tell that because he gave an interview when Doctor Strange 2 came out, the Multiverse Madness. He mentioned something about the trailers. And he said, yeah, the trailer gave away too much and I'm not happy about it, but it is what it is. So we know he didn't have control of that.
Right. Yeah.
See, he doesn't like, that's not cool, man.
Yeah. He likes to keep things under wrap.
Yeah.
Until the release of the film.
Chapek needs to go. He's he's stupid in my opinion. And he's going to run Disney to the ground if they don't find somebody else. They're not doing so well. I mean, in the stock and the Disney Plus, even though it's growing, it's not growing as fast as it should be. But that's the other.
We're in a recession, though. That's why.
Oh well,
let's blame it on the recession.
Yeah, and so that's why I think he'll go over to DC. Because I think Alan Horn and Zaslav will give him the complete control to do what he wants. And so,
Yeah,
okay,
that makes sense. So
that makes sense.
I think that's what the DCEU needs.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what they've been missing. Is lack of a better term, a puppet master
Yeah.
to pull all the strings to make sure that they're all moving in concert.
So this is what I would do if I was in charge. I
Okay.
agree with Dave. You need somebody like Kevin Feige. It doesn't have to be Kevin Feige, but he might be over there. Um, but we need somebody who will helm the entire thing and have the complete control and trust his decision to make this work. You got to have that person there. You can't have too many cooks in the kitchen. You have one hand to be in control, and that's it. Once you start getting people different hands in there, different creative things comes around, you disagree certain things, and the movie was suffered. And so now I'm not saying that the studio can interfere, folks. MCU, the studio interfere with every movie. Go back and look at it. Director has to all the director that goes in MCU has to abide by what the MCU the studio is doing.
Oh yeah.
So they can make their own spin and they have their own creativity in it, but they have to follow the main plot line, and that is you have to connect everything together and it has to make sense. So
Yeah.
I don't mind studio interference as long as it's good, as long as it's little, and because it's gonna happen. And so
Right. It's got to.
now people, my audience probably think, oh, Tom, you're just gonna blow everything up and start brand new. Well, you can't do that. You're giving what you're given, and you got to work with it. So we have Aquaman, keep him. We have Shazam, keep him. Black Adam, I think Black Adam is going to be terrible, my opinion.
Yeah, you don't think it's gonna be good?
I don't even think it's going to be a DC movie. It's going to be the Rock movie.
Yeah.
So it has his handprints, too much
Oh
of
yeah.
his fingerprints on these. And so, and then you still have Wonder Woman, you still have the Flash, but it will probably be played by a different actor. I'm pretty sure he's already fired. They just haven't really announced it yet until the movie comes out. We'll talk about him in a minute.
Okay.
And so you really can't blow everything out. But what you can do is you go back to the basic. I agree with Dave, and he hit it on the spot. You cannot play catch up. You can't.
Yeah.
You cannot. You cannot. You're gonna compare the MCU to DC, but you can't do it. MCU is light years ahead. You need to just worry about your own movie, your own property, your own universe. Focus on that. Make movies individual movies. Make them where they act, just like Marvel, have their own conflicts and by connected to each other. How that's gonna work, I don't know yet because I don't know which Batman is which. I don't know if the Joker is going to be Joaquin Phoenix Joker. In this case, the tone is completely different, and I don't know how they're going to work out. I'm okay with them casting new Superman. I'm okay with them casting new Flash, of course. And you work your way out of this Snyderverse and somehow make a movie that's completely different tone than what it is now. And I agree with Dave. The Batman with Robert Pattinson has a great tone. Now that is the issue: is that Aquaman,
It's
Shazam,
completely different tone.
completely the opposite.
Yeah.
So you have to start from the bottom. And that is you make individual movies for individual characters. Sometimes you can have team up. I don't care. You can bring certain come in there and just have do whatever they need to do and leave like in Spider-Man No Way Home, like in Doctor Strange, all that. And but you make it where it's like you focus on certain characters, one character, but you connect that tissue together at the end of the movie or somehow. And so I would do that. I would keep the budget, I don't know, just
Do you? I just had a question
go
that
ahead.
just popped in my head. Do you think that, as far as the movies are concerned, they're trying to make them um, too grounded in reality, and they got away from some of the mysticism and fantasy elements of the characters in, let's say, just compare them to the animated movies in the last 10 years, the DC animated movies. Those all have their own unique tone. Those characters have their own unique tone, but the team ups, they all worked for some reason. You think they're trying to get away from that and maybe not make them like the animated movies.
Well, why wouldn't you do something that's successful though? Why didn't you do the? I mean, it makes no sense. Like, I think the animated work is, you said it best. It's the tone. It was already established. This
Yeah,
is the tone, and
yeah,
it worked through different characters that comes in with that tone. With what's going on with the live action DC property is you're all over the place with the tone. Like, you have the serious Batman, which I love. Batman
yeah,
is my number 2 movie of the year so far. It's a great movie,
yeah.
but the tone is that, how are you going to throw Shazam in there?
Right.
You
Yeah,
can't. You
you can't.
cannot do it. I think Zack Snyder's verse, even though people don't like it as much, I think his tone was perfect for these characters to come together. The only problem is Zack Snyder's not a good. I hate to say it, he's not a good director.
He's
He's a
not.
he's a good creator. He's a good writer,
He's a good cinematographer too.
and he's that. But
Yeah.
he's not a good director when it comes to directing um
A superhero movie.
actors.
Oh
And
yeah, yeah,
it doesn't, like Jordan, for instance, Jordan Peele.
yeah.
I've seen the movie Nope.
Okay, I
It's
haven't
not
seen
that
it yet.
it's okay. It's
Okay.
not. The review is terrible, and it was like, what? But see, but I get the creativeness that he was going for. It's almost like he's so creative he can't project it onto the screen. He's not a good direct. He's good as creating, but not presenting it in the way that he want that creative should be. Because that reveal should have never been the way it is. I don't know if you've seen it.
No, I haven't.
Okay, I'm not
So
going to tell you.
okay.
And like some of the things is like, well, why would, if you know that they're there, just move. I mean, oh, that would solve everything problem. Just move. Anyways, I'm just saying. But like, to me, he's not a he doesn't expand, like, doesn't express his creativeness in the full potential. I don't think Nope is that great of a movie. I thought it was okay. I didn't like Us. Get Out was just okay. I feel like Zack Snyder's in that realm. The movie looks great. Looks great.
Yeah, yeah.
But the direction of the actors and the dialogue are terrible to me. And so, they got it. Look, just bring, if they're gonna keep Aquaman, bring back Ben Affleck. My wife hates
Yeah.
Ben Affleck.
No, he is. Sorry, Whitney. He was a great Batman.
Ben Affleck
He
was a
was a great
great
Batman.
Batman. Yes, great Batman. I'm waiting for.
He's my number 2 so far.
Who's your number one?
I think Patson's my number 1
Oh,
so
okay.
far. Yeah.
I need mine too. And so you can bring him back if he wants to come back, and you can continue using that same that core that Zack Snyder started. You can still
Yeah.
use them, but you have to shift the tone, or do it in a different way. Like, instead of doing
that would have to be a gradual shift in tone, though,
oh
right? Because if
yeah,
you go from one tone, like the tone of Shazam and Aquaman, to the tone of Matt Reeves, the Batman, like that's going to be so drastic. You'll lose so many people.
but the tone of Zack Snyder does
Yeah,
match with Shazam. He can be in that universe.
yeah,
Same thing with Black Adam.
yeah,
So maybe we'll see how Matt Reeves. Remember, I don't want him to change his tone. I
yeah,
love that grindiness,
yeah,
that intensity that he has in that movie, and I don't want him to change that. But if Robert Pattinson is the next Batman for this universe, then you're gonna have to shift the tone somehow.
yeah. They're going to have to meet in the middle somewhere.
And so I don't really know, folks. Like, how would you, what would you do? How would you fix DC if you were in charge? Let us know. Because we're confused as well, because it is a mess. And I don't envy, like I said, Zaslav right now, because he has to deal with that. And going into our next subject, he has to deal with Ezra Miller.
Oh, man.
If you haven't heard, he's been in the news for the last couple of years. He choked a girl out, 2-3 years ago. Whether that was playing around or not, I don't care. You don't do it. Optics matter in life. People see you do certain things. People are gonna talk about it, especially if you're a famous person. Then you have an incident getting arrested in Hawaii, throwing chairs at people, kidnapping, manipulating a underage girl, although she was, when she ran away, she was 18, so she's was consent. Um,
Yeah.
and then going to Hawaii, threatened to kill people. Now he's
Burglary.
bakery in Vermont. That's his. And the sad part is that's probably the most mild thing he did compared to the other stuff he did. And so, Ezra Miller. I'm not here to bash on Ezra Miller. Do I think he's not a good person? Probably he's not. I don't know the guy personally. Do I think he needs help? Oh hell yes he does.
Definitely
He
needs some help.
he needs some help. Mentally he's not there. He doesn't want to go by being a he. He likes to be known as them. But but
Okay.
I'm sorry folks, you are a he. I'm going to say he. You're not going to tell me what I can identify you with, cuz I'm looking at you. You have a penis. You're a he. And so there you go. So he's not in a good place with Warner Brothers. Now, there is a controversial going on with the movie Batgirl and The Flash.
Really?
Some say, why isn't The Flash canceled?
Yeah.
But
Why isn't The Flash canceled?
because it's a great movie.
Okay. All right.
And it's because The Flash will make a lot of money. And because folks, 80, I'm going to say 90% of the people outside of the movie bubble does not know what's going on
Right. Yeah.
and does
Yeah,
not
for
care.
sure.
They see the Flash, that's all they see. You can go and ask Joe Smo from a middle of America, and he couldn't tell you who Ezra Miller is, but he know who the Flash is.
Yeah.
And you could ask him, do you know anything about him? What's going on? He couldn't tell you what's going on.
No. No.
No one knows about this except for people who are in this industry and who follows movie as a hobby like me and Dave.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So we know, and therefore there is a voice that's really little. Let's be real. It's the bubble. It's not that many people that knows what's going on in details.
Yeah.
And so why isn't the Flash being canceled compared to the Batgirl? Even though none of those casts has gotten into trouble, has been model citizen. In fact, the girl who plays Batgirl, who is in Into the Heights, she came out and said, with class, pure class, didn't bash on Zaslav, didn't bash on Warner Brothers, just basically tell everybody, I love making the movie. I had great time with my co-workers and all this, and I hope to work with WB in the future. Class act. That's how Zaslav should have come out instead of saying your movie sucked. That's why we canceled it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, Dave, how do you feel about them not canceling the Flash but canceling Batgirl? Do you have any opinion about that? Or do you? Let me ask you a question. Do you even care?
Do I care?
Because that's the main question. Because not a lot of people care if they don't know what's going on in the industry.
Right. Yeah. So here's the thing, right? A lot of people that have done bad things have made some really good movies, right? They've starred in and acted in really good movies, but they're terrible people. They don't treat people well. They're just not fun to be around. And they're abusive, and they've got mental illness.
Yeah.
But if they can bring it on the screen and make it a believable character, right? Is it appropriate to separate the two and allow that to?
Oh, I like that. Can you separate the art from the artist?
Yeah.
Let me pose this question. Michael Jackson.
Oh, that's a great example. Although he was never actually convicted of any child abuse, and everyone that claimed he did, nothing was ever proven. But he was a creepy dude.
Well, the guy, the boys,
there were a couple
that came out and said he did
accused.
it. So
Right. And so, okay, maybe he did. I have no proof.
Let me tell
There
you.
was no evidence. But to your point, I love his music.
Okay.
Everything, almost everything that he did
Okay.
musically, I love it. Request it all the time. Listen to it all the time. So yes, I 100% separate the person from the
So
art.
so you can what's the word?
Compartmentalize.
Yeah,
I can
compartmentalize.
compartmentalize. Yeah.
And you can go, okay, I know this guy's bad, but I'm not
Right.
watching him. I'm watching the
So
character.
Ezra Miller is not the Flash. I know
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
He's the Flash is a fictional character that I enjoy. I enjoy the way that Ezra Miller presents that character.
Yeah.
Right. It's like, all right, I'm going to put a religious spin on it. Okay. You get someone that portrays Jesus Christ in a picture,
Yeah.
right? A live photo or video. That is not Jesus Christ. We know that. We do not worship the actor, right? That's an actor. That's
Yeah.
an artist performing their art. But when I read the stories of Jesus Christ and I associate it with that actor in a video, let's say The Chosen. I love The Chosen. That makes that character more real to me,
More powerful.
more powerful. But I could care less what the actor does with his life.
Yeah.
If they're portraying something in a way that I enjoy, I can compartmentalize that.
Okay, I like that. So that's the issue is, so do you have a problem with them casting Batgirl but not the
Yes, because I want to see it.
I
don't care how bad it is. Let me be the judge.
I agree with
I'm
you.
a fan. And I want to be able to geek out about that kind of stuff.
I want to see it too. And at a certain point, I think Zaslav made a mistake. Now I get his take. He wants to produce and release good, great movies. He doesn't want to be has-ass about, like a movie, like he doesn't want to be the Catwoman with Halle Berry. He doesn't want that.
Yeah.
And according to the reports, it's as that bad.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
According to the reports.
Do you think if he gets the DCEU property, do you think if he gets a good enough profit going on it, let's say they clear, I don't know, what would be a good box office? 200 million.
Yeah.
On a property. Do you think that he'd pony up the taxes and pay the taxes to release the movie?
No, I think they'll redo a movie.
They're just going to redo the whole thing.
I think they'll redo a movie with the same cast. I think they are going to do that. I have a feeling that they will.
With the same cast?
With the same cast. I just think that they don't know where to put them in that 10-year plan that he has right now.
Okay.
And although you should know what you have planned because that's what a plan is.
10 years, yeah.
10-year plan. But 10-year plan can change. I mean, Kevin Feige had all these plans, but he admitted that there were sometimes like, we have to add a movie here. We have to add this movie here, so it can change. So I think they'll still make Batgirl in the future. I just don't know how long it'll take. I mean, if they want Michael Keaton to be in it again, they need to hurry up because he's getting old.
Yeah, yeah.
So I don't know, but I do agree that they will probably make Batgirl. I just don't know when and with the same actress. And so, anyway, go back to here. Here's another artist that I want to mention to you. Can you separate the art from the artist? R. Kelly.
Oof. Oh, that's a tough one.
That's tough.
That's a tough one.
And
I think his music should be canceled and banned. No, I don't.
Oh, okay. I
don't think his music should be banned.
Okay, but can you listen?
Like, that was his work, right? We live in the United States of America, where freedom of expression should be protected, as long as it doesn't infringe on the rights of others. And what he did physically to people infringed on the rights of others. And for that, he should be convicted. But his expression in music, I don't think that he should be. Okay. I don't think that should be canceled. No, I don't.
I don't think he should be canceled. But I can't listen to all of his music. I can't do it. I think he's just a disgusting human being. But there is one
Oh
song
yeah,
that
he is definitely a disgusting human
but there
being.
is one stinking song, or actually it's 5 songs, but they connect to each other that I just love.
Okay.
It's called Trap in the Closet.
Oh no, that doesn't sound good. The optics
No, no,
don't
no.
sound
I know
good.
it's terrible,
Oh my gosh.
but it's I can sing the entire 5 song because it's acting while singing, but
Okay.
it's rhyming. It's incredible. It's incredible, and I cannot stop listening. I love
So
that
you
freaking song.
compartmentalize that
Just that song.
and separate that song
Yeah.
from
Because
R. Kelly.
I just like the creativity of going into it. And so, but man, it's tough. So I think to me, I wish they didn't cancel Batgirl. I'm with
Yeah.
you. I think people I think what Zaslav needs to understand, and I don't think he understands the comic book world, at least to some extent, that people will forgive. I mean, people
Yeah.
forgive Catwoman. I mean,
Oh yeah.
Catwoman
Yeah.
came back with Anne Hathaway. Great, great. I loved Zoe Kravitz, Catwoman. You know, but I still like Anne Hathaway better.
Okay.
I still liked her portrayal of that just a little bit better because it
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
because her
The
the
con
con.
artist.
Yeah,
Yeah. She was a better
yeah,
portrayal of a con artist.
yeah. There was she had no attachment, in the Batman with Robert Pattinson, she was more of a like revengeful
Yeah.
Catwoman, and that that's just not. I don't know if that's her really character. I don't. And all the years I read Catwoman, she was not like that.
No, she was a cat burglar. She was a
Yeah.
con artist.
So I think to me, I know why the Flash didn't get canceled because it
Because
will
it's a
make
good
it
movie.
it will make more. Yeah, because people have seen it already, and reporters said it is a great movie. That's the word. A
Okay.
great movie. And I'm excited to see it because I can separate the artist from the art. And I can watch The Flash without having to like, oh man, I don't feel guilty watching The Flash because what Ezra Miller did. What Ezra Miller did is terrible and disgusting. And he will be facing criminal charges, of course.
Yes, he should.
Uh, and that's going to happen. But I can separate that, and I can enjoy the movie. I don't agree with I understand why Batgirl was canceled
Yeah.
and why the Flash is not, and it all comes down to
Should Ezra Miller continue his role
no,
as the
he's gone,
Flash?
he's
Okay.
gone, he's gone. They
I think
already
that's appropriate.
yeah
Release the movie. Let us see the movie.
yeah
Don't let him
they,
do anything else with it.
no they remember they gave him 3 options that this could have that he can be part of this movie. They said if he gets help, which he's getting help now for professionally with his mom. His mom
Oh,
came
okay.
to the rescue. Moms can do that. Moms
How
can.
old is he?
He's a lot younger than you and I. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, yeah.
If he can get help and be back on time for the movie he can go on the press tour. They will mention him. Secondly, if he doesn't what's it called get better and he continues to do this, he's not allowed to be near the movie or the press junket or whatever.
Okay.
But if he continues to
His
do all these
trend
things,
of behavior.
okay, they might cancel the movie.
Okay.
So there's 3 options that they can do. I honestly think that well, I don't know. I don't know if they will. I think that they can still make a lot of money with the Flash because, like you and I said, not everybody care or know what's going on with Ezra
Yeah.
Miller.
Yeah.
They not everybody knows, and people are gonna look at the Flash and they're like, "Oh, dude, that movie's cool. Who are the guys who play him?" Oh, then they realize,
Yep.
oh,
Yep.
but no one's gonna care, and no one's gonna even know. 90% will probably not know what's going on, and I think the movie will make money because, according to the reports, it is a great movie. And here's another part: is the Flash is supposed this movie is supposed to be the center, like it's gonna shape what the next DECU is gonna be.
So is
It's
it
the
like Flashpoint?
it is,
Okay.
and it is a very important movie in this universe, and that's why it's not getting canceled. So What do
So
you?
the Zaslav's got to have a hinge point, huh?
Yeah, he has to.
And this is going to be
But
the
I
hinge
don't
point.
think he. I don't think. I don't know if you can like say that it's justified to axe Batgirl movie and then to to continue to allow the Flash to go because of what Ezra Miller did. But you can't. But you can't punish the entire production because of one guy.
Right.
But then
Yeah.
you can't. But then the argument is, well, why don't you let the people decide if it's a good movie or not, and instead of canning it?
Yeah. No, I
So I
agree
can
with
see
that.
it both
I think
ways.
that, yeah.
I'm. I don't know if I like as Zaslav. I would say Aslav. Zaslav.
But time will tell.
I don't know if I like the way he. I know for a fact I don't like the way he came out and said the Batgirl movies suck, and that's why we're canceling. I don't think he
Be
has a lot.
specific on your criticisms, there, buddy.
He has a lot to learn when it comes to the PR, when it comes to the comic book
I know how that
world,
is.
and so. But I do like what he's doing. I do like is the fact that why are we making Wonder Twins movie? I agreed. Why he canceled that? So it's like he's doing things that are kind of like okay, he's doing something because for the longest time no one was doing anything with this universe. It's just been a mess. So now that somebody comes in, they don't like what he's doing. Some people don't like it. Some people don't agree with what he's doing. But I'm like, well, guys, it's the same thing with Star Wars. You Star Wars fans are ridiculous. I'm one of them. You guys are a bunch of whining piece of crap that like complain about, oh man, there's nothing new. And when they give you something new, oh, that's not my Star Wars. What the hell do you want?
That's not how it's supposed to be.
That's so stupid. And that's why I will always say,
not Luke Skywalker.
yeah, that's not my Luke Skywalker. Why not? Why can't he be old and grumpy?
I know I'm going to be.
Right, babe?
What'd she say?
She hates The Last Jedi. I love The Last Jedi. Let me repeat. I love The Last Jedi because it was something new. That's why I love Rogue One. She hates Rogue One too. Man, we just can't get it together, babe. We just can't get it together.
I only have one gripe with Rogue One.
What's that?
The whole movie was written to fill a plot hole.
What plot hole?
The plot hole of an exhaust port being 2 meters wide that'll blow up the entire thing.
And it's amazing. Yes.
No, I don't disagree. It's an amazing movie. It's an amazing plot hole filler. It is an amazing plot hole filler.
It's amazing.
But it's a plot hole filler.
And it should be, and it has to be, because somehow we got to figure out how the heck Luke got that to little space using the Force. Yeah. Really, George Lucas, really, you really gonna use the Force to explain him going through that little tiny hole? I mean, even Tom Cruise could have got that, right? Oh, Top Gun, come on, people! I was trying to tell. This is so off subject, but like that doesn't. Somebody was telling me one time, what are you talking about? That has nothing to do with Star Wars. I'm like, have you seen New Hope? I was like, yeah. It's like, go back and watch the ending of it. And go watch Top Gun again. It's exactly the same damn thing, dude. Come on. Anyways, folks, yep. I think we're running. Anything else you want to add to this about the Warner? It is a mess. And you know what?
Yeah.
I'm a fan. I love the MCU and what they're doing. I'm also, I think Man of Steel is the greatest superhero movie ever.
It's so good. No, I agree. Yeah, it's really good.
There are days when I think Dark Knight is better than that. So it goes flip and flop with Dark Knight and Man of Steel. So
I watching them side by side with the timestamps.
I love
exactly
Man of
matched up.
I love Man of Steel.
Here's what you do: watch them both, start them at the exact same time, and then play one of Black Sabbath's albums backward while smoking a joint. It is an amazing experience.
I don't think I can do that.
All right.
Anyways, folks, let us know what you think. Anything else, Dave, you want to add?
No, I can't do that.
So thank you for joining us. This is what would you do if you were the CEO of Warner Brother? What would you do with the DC property? Would you have canned Batgirl? Would you still release it? Me and Dave thinks we, as a fan, and I agree, should release it because I still would have loved to see it. Even if it's that bad, I mean, come on, like let us be the judge. Let the audience be the one to decide if it's bad or not. Because you think Zaslav, you might, I mean, because he listened to this podcast and
one
my
opinion
channel.
there, buddy. You're one person.
And a group of people doesn't speak for thousands and millions of people out there. So let's release it. But it's too late now. He canceled it. So what about Ezra Miller? You think his movie should be canceled? Let us know. Have a discussion with us because we want to know your opinion. And I know for a fact there's some people out there, like I listened to John Campia. He loves David Zaslav. I also listened to Christian Harloff. He hates this guy. And they're going to be on the show together on Tuesday to debate about this. I'm excited about it. Yeah, so it's going to be fun. Probably check it out. John Campia's show. He doesn't need my plug. He has like 300 million subscribers. I'm a little dinkling with 77 subscribers. Anyways.
Oh, we got another one.
Yeah,
77.
The road to 100. Anyways, folks, let us know what you think. Thank you for listening. And remember, be kind.